Get ready to rumble. We have to the upper right hand side a blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It's Snute. He's playing against the red Zerg. To the bottom left hand side, it's Serral. Alright, so setting it up, getting ready to roll. Here in game number 1 of this best of 5 ZvZ series. Obviously a bit of an amusing one because these guys have both been living together for a few days now in Korea. We are playing this on the Korean server, so I'm getting this set up. Ready to roll. Snute vs Serral. Our first game of this Group C of the competition, sharing a group with Laser and Hearthstone. That's actually where we're going to be bringing the majority of the action from. We're not going to keep too many eyes on Group D. Again, I might try and collect some replays, and as I collect some replays, I might try and make a cast later this week with some of these replays that I just haven't got to cast. Obviously, you know, the tournament won't be live or anything. Just want to kind of cast some more games, because these are really cool series. And honestly, I would cast more today. Like, later on. And I would kind of cast a bunch of replays today. If I wasn't feeling kind of so ill and stuff, I'd kind of like to get some nice rest and maybe get ready for tomorrow. Sorry, I'm laughing at Hearthstone in the other lobby, but we get this ready to go. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get some replays, maybe cast them later this week or something. Obviously, the results will be known, but it can be cool to see some of the games, anyways. So maybe get this going. So yeah, just gonna be setting up and getting ready to roll. As we do have link speed on the way up from Snute here initially. Some drones just mining away, nothing really out of the ordinary in the early stages. So, link speed on the way up. We're going to see an overlord moving around here from Serral. Snute going to throw down this hatchery down the right hand side. So hatchery again thrown on down here. Bane there starting to build from Serral. Very much similar build, just Snute right now bypassing that Baneling nest. We'll see if he puts it down in a moment or so. He was just mining a little bit less gas for a while. And still is mining just with one worker in here at the moment. I'm just going to be seeing these couple of lings. Going to come on in, grab that Zerg kill, and just go from here. A few more lings through to the south side. Looking to see where they can go. And 14 lings on the way up. Roach Warren is starting to build from Snute. So obviously bypassing the Bane, and that generally suggests you want to go for a bit of faster Roach play. As a way to kind of stay safe going in towards the series, obviously. That's what Snute is going to be going for. As we're just going to be seeing the lings running around, looking to see what they can do. A few more lings coming down the left. They'll be arriving onto this third hatch in a moment. Now, Serral just peels a few lings away to go and hit Snute's third base. See if that's going to be a success as these early trades and skirmishes not really going the way of either player just yet, but is kind of working out nicely as we're going to see those lings coming in and yeah, nibbling away, just doing a little bit more here and there. Single Baneling just in the back. Baneling coming down again. These few Zerglings of Serral still just going to be nibbling away and just going to be continuing to hit this third hatch. If he gets rid of this third hatch, obviously Snute falls very far behind. He's starting to bring more of his lings back, but I think Snute is going to lose the third hatchery here. Oh, he's got Transfuse. That buys a few more seconds, but only a few more seconds. Serral still seems to have a better number of Zerglings. He looks as though he might be able to keep on pushing forward. Snute does have Roaches coming up now, but you'll lose at least one Queen here. Bane's going to get in the middle of all of this as well. I mean, the Lings are going down. Serral does not have Roach Oran of his own just yet, so he can't build Roaches to counter this. Does Snute go across the map? No. Instead, he drones and rebuilds the third hatch, but maybe instead we'll look towards a +1 attack timing and use that as his advantage here to make up for losing the third. Ling's coming over to the left-hand side here. Is going to be seeing a couple of drones going to get grabbed. A couple of drones going down there. Queen working away as well. So these Roaches, I mean, maybe Snute for a moment thinking about attacking, but because he didn't follow up with units, he made Roaches instead. He can't really commit to that attack. So these roaches coming back to the right-hand side. Ling is running around as well. They're going to just try and figure out what they can get up to, where they can go, and so on and so on. Which of Snute also going to be moving forwards once more here. And we'll see a couple of those Zerglings getting taken down right from the get-go. He's actually going to come in and surround Snute's third hatchery for the second time in this game, and it will once again be a cancel here. Snute has no real option, and Snute's actual overall options in this game are starting to run out. He does have a lair, he doesn't have roach speed start for whatever reason, but he will still have a large lead on +1, and I guess that's why, because he's going to go for the Nidus now instead. Full on all in coming out of Snute. Serral, even if he makes enough units here, could get awkward, because obviously Snute will be able to bring across queens, he'll be able to reinforce quickly, and he's going to have the +1 lead. And that could make quite a difference on this. And as this lair still coming on up, I'm looking to see what will happen. Roger's just joining up, and obviously we'll just see this knight is about to finish up, and the knight is coming into the main, something Serral doesn't see just yet. Serral is making more roaches, but remember, he's down on that +1 upgrade, and Snute will put himself right between the main and natural, and you'll have the high ground of Serral having to push back up into the main, and that's going to be a pretty big deal here. It will give Snute a bit of a position to work with. Now, he doesn't have Ravagers, though, but again, look at this concave that Snute will hold, as he keeps Serral down on the low ground. +1 advantage as well. You actually will let Serral come up here now. Queen's going to actually have to be careful, going to pull those backwards. And a few transfuses available here from Snute will be something that adds up as well. Another Nidus on the way up. As this Nidus actually gets taken down by the Corrosive Valve, so no reinforcements for a few moments here. Snute trying to dodge them Corrosive Valves, but one Queen does get racketed down quite quickly. Ravagers and Roaches push down to the low ground once again. Here comes more reinforcing Roaches, and Snute will continue to win this fight in the main base. But now units moving up this ramp once again. Snute is just a little bit all over the shop, trying to figure out where exactly to fire at any moment. More drones pulling in, and Snute will do good eco damage, but will he do enough damage outside of the eco damage as well? He actually gets away with a bunch of those Roaches. He has got a third base set up behind this. Work count is even. Snute with +2 on the way as well. This wasn't necessarily a completely committed all in, with +2 on the way, a third hatchery rebuilding. And now Snute's actually evened up the work account. Maybe put himself in a position he can play from here. Still no roach speed though, and that's something which Snute needs to invest into, or he will fall very far behind. So you're seeing a couple of Zerglings getting taken down. We're going to see what's going to happen next. So 3 roaches just sitting around here. Going to see this Overlord takes a hit from one of the Corrosive Valves there. Spire on the way from Serral is a way for him to transition to try and get further into this game. 500 views, but dead chat. What can I say, man? So many StarCrafts going on today. A lot of people will be watching StarCraft, will be multi-streaming. Hard to be in all the chats at once, you know. Hard to be in all the chats at once as we continue setting up, looking to see what is next. Roaches and Ravagers coming forwards. Snute just going to be setting up, and looking to see what's going to happen. Spire on the way down now as well from Serral in the main base. So that's going to finish up here as well, and just going to be seeing 7 Mutalisks currently on the way. So 7 Mutas on the way up, a few more Roaches starting to build as well. Burrow on the way out, and +1 Carapace and Tumbling Claws from Snute coming through also. You see these Roaches and Ravagers going to push on forwards, and they're going to be able to start working their way through this hatchery. The 4th base going to get taken down almost instantly here. We're going to see these Roaches from Serral taking quite a beating as well. A few more Roaches going down. 3 workers picked off, and again, just going to be seeing these Mutas overhead. We'll start to target down the Ravagers. Obviously, Snute has a bit of a timing window here to try and do some major damage because he has +2. And so the whole idea is he wants to try and do as much as he can with these Roaches to then make up for the fact he's going to have to play defensive against the Mutas. But his army's being cleaned out, and so far he's not really finding the damage that we've just sort of describing there to put himself far enough ahead to then justify what the mutas are going to be able to do as a follow-up. Now, Snute is setting up into more drones. He will set up spores. He still has a 4th base, but all of this becomes increasingly more difficult to defend against when he's got to play against mutas. He's setting up spores now, of course, but man, it's going to be tough, and he hasn't even got a Hydra Den coming down yet to start setting up some real kind of mobile anti-air against this. It's going to be seeing the Roach is going to burrow here and start moving around once again. Gathering up. Again, not too many mutas right away from Serral. He's only got 7, so it is defendable from Snute. It's really just buying Serral some time to kind of keep Snute pinned back for a bit. And to kind of go from there, so... He's flying on in. You're going to see these roaches of Snute going to be doing some bits and pieces. Meanwhile, Harsum has just picked up a win against a Laser in game number 1. Let's just see how this game finished up, perhaps. Let's bring it up on the picture-in-picture. Looks as though Laser went for a large attack in. Meanwhile, though, there was Zealots on the 3rd, which look as though they're probably just not going to be dealt with. And looks as though Harsum just made a solid hold against it. And the Laser tapped out to give Harsum game number 1 there. So we'll take that away. And we will continue onwards. Just going to be seeing the few meters to the side here coming in and doing a little bit of damage to an extract as we focus back onto the ZvZ. Just going to be seeing those meters continue to move around, continue to see what else is going on. Hydra's on the way up from Snute as well. In general, his overall fighting army composition is becoming a bit better with those Hydras mixed in. Although the Ravagers do a lot for Serral as well. Not only do they kind of act as Hydras that don't shoot up, they also have corrosive bars, which is a bit of a bonus as well, you know. A bit of a bonus as well. Here we go, moving forwards here. Serral going to see what he can get up to. Pushing with the Roach Ravager to get into an aggressive position. Seeing Ravager just on the way up and just getting set up into this. The Queen's pushing forwards and will be able to get rid of this Overseer. So, Overseer does go down, and again, those Queens from Snute just going to be regathering. And there's going to be seeing a couple corrosive bars coming down, and a lot more corrosive bars coming down as well. So, just going to try and burrow underneath this to get on top of the Ravagers, but it's not going to work. And he's going to pop back up. The Ravagers are just so powerful in this scenario, where the corrosive bars just do so much, and they force Snute to relocate, reposition all the time. It's a very painful spot to be in. As we're going to be seeing those roaches from Snute are just not cutting it right now. Now he does have Snute, these Queens fighting the mutas at least, so he pushes the mutas back. Just so many Ravagers here. They're a little bit exposed perhaps right now, but maybe not super exposed. We're going to be seeing corrosive bars coming down. Another Roach will be cancelled right there. He's still pushing forwards. Roach is going to continue coming through, and this Ravager is going to continue to die. A few more battles, not really doing too much more though, and Queen's starting to pull backwards as well. You're going to see still Serral pushing forwards with the Roach Ravager. You're going to see what he can get up to. His Queen getting lower and lower, very nearly going down. There it is, the Queen falls. Roach Ravager splitting up once again here. A few more corrosive bars dropping on into play. I'm just going to be seeing again more transfusions coming on down and all the rest of it. +1 Carapace coming in on the Evo chamber. Again, the Roach Ravager splitting up a little bit too. Snute does have a 5th hatch up, and honestly, despite the last fight not really going his way, Serral did have to wait for reinforcements to come on in, and now Snute's getting his own Ravagers up. He's got 9 against 9 actually. His Roach numbers are even, and so really this is going to be about the engagements and who takes the better positions. And so far that is going to be Serral up here. Snute has to come through a bit of a choke point to fight this, although Serral's in a bit of a choke himself. He's not exactly spread out massively. The corrosive bars are starting to connect those. Snute's going to run through another set of biles, but he manages to dodge for the most part. Meanwhile, Serral up top does get rid of that hatchery, and that goes down. Snute going to not let this up just yet, though. He's pushing forwards, but now he does push through the choke himself, and he has to back away from that corrosive bars to help disengage. Neither player taking the lead just yet. Snute down slightly on workers, maybe even further behind it shortly, because these roaches are running into the natural and main base to go and deal with some damage. And there's going to be a distraction as Serral still pushing at the front, but he sits in corrosive vials. Snute will be happy with that set of trades. This has gone pretty well for him, actually. You can see those roaches getting picked away at once again. A few more roaches here from Serral getting picked away at 2. And still roaches and Ravagers pushing on forwards to see what else is happening. 10 drones killed there, but Snute going to take it as an opportunity to, instead of replace those drones, just build up even more army supply. Obviously, it's an issue if you have less drones, Or if you have more drones, great, you're building a bigger bank, but your actual, at the time, fighting army will be smaller. Another Corrosive Battle, so dropping down, not really hitting on anything just yet. Mobiles coming down here, and still Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras continue to push on through this. We're just going to be seeing a couple more battles do drop down on either side. Snute pushes forwards here once again. A couple of Corrosive Battles coming down, and still looking to see just what else is going on. Roaches going to burrow here from Snute. As those Roaches burrow, still just see Serral backing away over to the bottom left-hand side. Still some Roaches gathering on up. A few more Roaches just popping out from the front here. Changeling gets taken down. A few Spine Crawlers just going to sit in the front as well to see what they can get up to. These Roaches really want to try and see if they can, well, just try and do something a little bit more interesting here. I'm just going to see these Roaches, Hydras, Ravagers. Maybe dropping down some Biles as well. Well, Biles not really doing too much else. Again, a few Roaches to the left-hand side. It's actually awkward because Serral actually has enough to defend this in both locations. Not just defend, but actually win the fight, I think. Although he is pulling back, and Snute now going to focus fully on the left-hand side. Snute dropping in supply, but he has a lot of money to rebuild with still. And he's still going to push into this position. He's now on the high ground, able to hit that low ground forth with Biles, etc. Even a couple of Ravager shots going down there now and then. Intense game of ZvZ so far between these players. A couple of mutas coming up. I think just from earlier in the game, they're going to come back into play for a moment or two. Roaches and Ravagers going to change direction. Spines did get cleaned out here by that previous Snute army, albeit inefficiently. Snute going to try and throw down an Infestation Pit. Still struggling on the supply, although he does have more units on the way up. It's just a matter of having a few seconds to get this going. That 1 meter is off on a journey once again. And still just the Biles making it so difficult for either player to truly engage in here just yet. Roaches, Ravagers, in and out, in and out. Not 100% sure which way they really want to make this happen. Now the Roaches, Ravagers split once again. Roaches coming forwards here once more. Another set of Biles coming on down. A little bit of back and forth here still, so still setting up in towards this. These Roaches and Ravagers do want to push through this choke point potentially. And there's 3 more Corrosive Biles thrown up into the sky, landing not really on anything at all. Ravager's going to be still on the way up. 6 Infestors on the way out as well. I'm just going to be seeing a little bit of Snute action, just trying to push on through here. Oh, there's a big fungal growth. That's going to be Serral's opportunity to leap on this army. Snute does have responding Biles, but he loses nowhere near as Serral loses nowhere near as much as what Snute just lost. Oh, that was brutal. Snute has his own Infestors, but they just weren't here to kind of create a similar opportunity. So now those Roaches and Ravagers going to keep on repositioning, seeing what else they could do. Roaches, Ravagers, Infestors. Relocating themselves here. Just going to be seeing those few Hydras pulling back as well, and again, just going to be seeing what else might happen. Fungal Growth comes down, a couple of Corrosive Biles as well. Another Fungal Growth comes down to another couple of Corrosive Biles. Also getting set up here. 1 more Fungal Growth. Well played so far. Those Roaches getting cleaned out. Hive Tech on the way up here, as we're going to see Snute. He has that Knights from early. He's going to try and set one up to the right side now. Maybe as a getaway plan, maybe as an attack plan. Either way, it's coming on up. Serral will not see it. Snute just going to be moving around the map. He's maxed out yet again. 2 upgrades apiece. Hive on the way up from Serral though, and that means 3-3 will be an open doorway for him now. Something he could look to utilize. Serral still doesn't. Okay, he has seen the Knights network here, but it's actually Snute pushing into the top side instead. This army will have to back away, sure, but Snute's making good progress on this base. In fact, this base probably just going to go down. Serral has been caught out of position. Nice Fungal Growth then, a couple more Corrosive Biles just to do a little bit more to follow up. I think this is really nice from Snute. That was a nice moment or so where he really did just catch Serral out of position. He not caught him out of position, he forced him out of position with the Knights network coming down to the south side, etc., you know? Just a couple more bars coming down. Roaches, Ravagers, and a couple of Hydras here from Snute. Going to be coming around as well to see just what else they can get up to. A couple of Fungal Growths coming on into play, and we are going to see Biles dropping down all over the place. Ooh, Snute takes some heavy hits, obviously, as he is also fungled. But Serral took some heavy hits as well, who actually wins out in this fight. Serral's supply kind of comes back up very quickly as he instantly rebuilds. Snute taking a little bit longer, Slash doesn't really have much more lava or even income in general to keep on doing that. He will break through this base. Problem is, Snute doesn't have this sort of base, you know, these extra bases for himself. Serral has this base over here, he has this base down here. Snute doesn't have those options. So killing this base is maybe not as significant as it might immediately seem. Serral up 30 army supply. Snute, again, because he's been down on workers throughout, has not been mining as much, and so he can't really keep on with these trades as they trade somewhat efficiently. Even Serral being slightly more efficient hasn't been enough, and that last fight actually did go very Serral favored. It looked like, you know, a lot of those, Cross Bars really did land effectively, didn't they? And really did put themselves all into a good position as we're going to be seeing Roaches and Ravagers. Let's see where else they go. Hatchery, top left-hand side, a few more spines are finishing up. And a single Overseer from Serral will move on forwards to look to see what else he can do. A couple cross changelings going to get dropped down as well. And as you see these Lings and Hydras pushing forwards to see what else will happen. The Lone Mutalisk currently harassing this mineral line. Actually is a bit more of an issue to deal with than it might seem. Again, Queen over there or something. Actually, the Roach is able to come over here now as well. Maybe do something about it. Fungal Growth does catch. Is there a Fungal Growth about follow-up? Oh, there's a nice Fungal Growth from Snute. I like that. That was actually a nice catch. He's going to get another one. Not sure if it's really going to be too much done. Doesn't get much more than a single Roach kill. This base is cancelled, and Snute is still unable to continue expanding. He's maxed out again, but this might be the last time we see Snute being maxed out, and so he's really going to have to find something special here. And Overlord is going to spot this army movement from Snute. Serral able to respond, therefore, coming in towards the left-hand side. We're just pushing into this third base. Again, Snute is pretty much mined out now. His income is down in the gutter, and you can see Serral take the biggest income lead he's had throughout this game now, for at least for the last 10 minutes. And that's just because Snute doesn't have anywhere to send his drones. 27 workers oversaturated on the 4th. Again, this is one last final ditch attack from Snute. One all-in push to try and win this. But the first Fungal Growth is good. Snute's Infestors are nowhere to be seen. There they are, coming in a little bit late. The reality is, I think Serral's Fungal Bile combinations are just going to be way too powerful. And again, Snute has nothing to rebuild behind this. Serral's already building spines, roaches, more Infestors, setting up into whatever else might come about here. And there's going to be seeing a couple more Biles. Not really connected on too much. And there's the push forwards. Fungal Growth comes down. Some roaches are caught. And Snute actually immediately seems to be maybe winning this fight a little bit. Is he? Yeah, maybe he is winning this fight a little bit. As we do see him pushing through. Surely he doesn't win the game though, right? Okay, you win this fight. Maybe you shut down this base up here. But he's lost every single drone he has. He has 0 workers left on the map. Another set of Fungal and Biles on either side. So actually killing off an Infestor or two with that as well. He just has to, I mean, that's the thing, right? His reinforcements from Serral, and when Serral gets his reinforcements, it will just be a little bit too much, most likely. It's going to be quickly bringing you guys some action from this Hearthstone against the Laser series. Hearthstone's just being dropped all over the place, and he's not going to really be able to do much more as these Hydras are going to push on in. And that is pretty much the way that Laser wins game number 2 on Mech Depot. So that's how that goes. Meanwhile, though, in this ZvZ, Snute is still pulling back away from Serral's army. And still just trying to back away and do a little bit more here and there. I got loud all of a sudden. Yeah, sorry, I hit my... When I went to mute while I was coughing, I hit my mic volume levels, so I might have been putting it back to not quite the right levels. Sorry for that. There's the GG from Snute. Serral takes game number 1. And as we go into game number 2, what a great game number 1. Back and forth, real macro ZvZ. Always exciting as we have to the top left-hand side our Blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. He'll open gas pool hatch, while on the other side Serral from NC Sports will open hatch gas pool. He's our Red Zerg, representing Finland, of course, in this Nordic clash. There is going to be, obviously, the kind of big battle between these guys later this month. Well, it's not October yet, but in October they're going to be fighting for one single spot between Norway and Finland to see which of them will be able to go to WSG. Continue to get set up and ready to go into the early stages of game number 2. Sorry guys, my cough's kind of really bad right now. I have to keep muting up every now and then. It's kind of crazy. These series are going so fast today. Not like in terms of like speed of games. The games are actually quite long, but it feels like we've barely been casting an hour or two, and yet here we are 4 hours into the stream already. Pretty crazy stuff. Feelings on the way up. Snute getting this ready to roll. I'm just going to be looking around to see where they can go and what they can get up to. Feeling's going to move on in and try and grab the drone or so there. Maybe seeing a couple of things. Just taking a little bit of nibbles, some back and forth here, but not really anything too crazy. Again, Snute with the gas pool hatch does open himself to some aggressive follow-ups. And right now he is making a few more Zerglings, looking as though he just wants to link flood through here in the near future. And his link speed will finish a bit faster. Overlord coming through. Might try and push back one of these overlords with the queen, but that's kind of tough to do as well. There's a lot more things on the way, so Snute really going to commit to this. We'll see how Serral will prepare. Here we go. We're going to see this overlord just pulling back, and there we go. Ling's just going to go across. 10 more Lings about to finish. Let's see how Serral tries to deal with this. His own link speed not finished just yet. He also doesn't have a Baneling Nest to use. The big issue here for Serral is that the Lings are going to pop out all over the place. He does have queens to help defend. He does have queens to help defend. As we're going to see these Zerglings coming forwards again. I'm just doing a little bit more. He will kill one of the queens here already, Snute. He's still making more Lings behind. There's a Baneling Nest on the way up as well. Maybe feeling that this is already going kind of how he wants it to. Doesn't have many Lings left over though. Serral will push this back for now. But will Serral go back into droning at some point? Snute is still just making units. And Serral will see this more units coming across the map. Baneling Nest about to finish up. And just going to be seeing Snute continuing to move around. Serral continuing to move around. More Lings coming up on either side. Baneling Nest starts from Serral. 10 more Zerglings on the way. Lings looking to run in from left and right. Both players just skirmishing, as you're going to see now. The Ling's going to try and start running on forwards. A lot of Lings here from Serral going to be in and out and in and out. Really, again, not really sure where they want to go for exactly. A single Baneling on the way up here from Snute. That hatchery going to get surrounded momentarily. I mean, the fact that Snute already has Banelings here is huge, and 5 workers going down to that initial connection. Snute doesn't get Banes towards the Banelings morphing in the back here, though, from Serral. He's actually going to kill the Queen's pre-transfuse. That's a huge deal. One more Baneling going down. Snute now has Banelings to deal with from Serral's side of things. The work count is even, and Snute will start to drone on it up himself to take a little bit of an eco lead. Well, this thing's going to pull him back over to the left-hand side. Try and do just a little bit more here. And these Zerglings of Serral coming through the south, looking to see just what else might happen. Snute running through with these Zerglings as well. A few Banes of Serral. Also getting around into positions. I like this. A few units onto the third base, which is something that obviously Serral right now doesn't just hold an advantage over Snute. It's going to be seeing the the drones from Snute just going to come back in towards the main base. Another Baneling comes in, a nice little connection there. Again, just going to be seeing drones, Lings, all moving around. A couple of Bane's going to finish up from Serral and will come in. 1 Baneling connection and 2. Now he's going to hurt the mineral line. Obviously, you get those drones low. The Lings will be able to pick them up easily. Good defense by Snute, target fired with the Queen. This game's still a bit hectic right now. Work counts even. Snute with a slight army supply advantage, still going for the third base kill. And as we do get this action still continuing all over the shop, gets rid of that Baneling, actually gets rid of this Baneling Morphin as well, so a couple of Banes going down, nicely done there. And just as this continues, just going to show you guys again a little bit of Snute just gets rid of this third. Great play by him. Just want to show you guys a little bit of the ending of Hearthstone versus a Laser game number 3. There's a big Adept all-in by Hearthstone, attacking on 3 bases but a lot of gateways. And it was kind of Adepts versus Banelings basically, as we're just going to be seeing, again, the fight continuing. And basically a Laser just couldn't get the connections he needed to clean that up. Hearthstone ended up taking game number 3. So Hearthstone with just too many Adepts there, and did pick up that victory to move on through. And again, the Ling's Banes still fighting over here for Snute and Serral. Some trades on either side which are beneficial to either one of them at any point in time. I'm just going to be seeing the Ling that's just going to be coming up to the top as we get ready to go. Again, the feelings continue to move around. Continue to see what else is going to happen. Feelings up top side, I mean, Snute trying to place a third, that won't last too long. Let's do get the castle here. Feelings continuing to move around. Still harassment on either side. Again, Snute's lost his third, so Serral gets his on the way up. Snute actually has a Baneling sat right next to it. Ling's going to come over. That should be a cancel as this Baneling just force Serral to turn around. Nice catch. 3 Lings get the corner on it, and still though Hatchery goes down. Drone as well. 34 to 34 workers. Serral with the army supply lead. That can change in a second with these Banelings, of course, though, but Serral's been on point. We've actually barely had at any point of all of this a single player kind of really making a big mistake into Banelings, etc. A few more Banes getting set up, and again a few more Lings Banes just gathering between the natural and third base. Rotoron on the way up in the natural. The third hatchery from Snute will come down to the left hand side as well, as we see Serral taking his hatch just in the front here. Rotoron building on up, trying to make that transition while Snute will continue with the Ling Bane, pushing in towards the third yet again. So many Banelings for him to play against right now though, and he's going to be a little bit cornered, but of course this third base does have a large area in the back. He can use to loop back around. Snute loses his Banes that are morphing though, and Serral does defend. +1 missiles still far along, and I think that's the difference right now, that Serral defends with +1 missiles halfway done and Roach is on the way already. I don't know what Snute does to defend against that. Again, Serral paying enough attention here. Defends his Lings from the Banes. I'm going to be seeing the Lings of Serral trying to come forwards once more. A couple of Banes come in. 2 for 4. It's a nice little something. That is a nice little something indeed. And again, more Ling Bane from Snute. Setting up and looking to see where it can go. Coming over to the left hand side, going to see these Zerglings of Serral moving around as well, looking to see what else is happening. 4 more Roaches currently on the way up here. And a couple of Queens on the way out from Snute. I think I'm going to get picked off, and we're just going to be seeing these few drones. A little bit back and forth here. Spinecrawl going to take some hits on the Queen too. I mean, Snute again just doing what he can, run bys, etc. Has to make up for the fact that he's just not going to have +1. And he's making a lot of Roaches, which is great, but you're still behind on that upgrade, Snute. Like, what do you do about that? I really don't have an answer myself. Roach is coming in, nibbling away at a couple more Zerglings. So we'll start to push across, and again, Snute might begin to have somewhere near the sort of numbers he needs. But the +1 will just tilt this so heavily into Serral's favor, and I do not know what Snute does right now. He's already 1-0 down. This could be a 2-0 deficit if Serral is going to win with this push. Bane's going down. Obviously, Bane slashing onto Roaches would be a good way for Snute to try and make up some of this damage. But here come the Banes of Serral to do the same thing. And you can already see that Serral is starting to kind of win this out, though. A few more Lings coming in as well. Remember that Serral is on slow Roaches. No Roach speed here. Neither player has a lair. The thing is, though, over time, Serral still is going to have +1. So as he continues to trade, he's still going to have that advantage. Queens are starting to have used up their energy now. Some Ravagers coming in on some of these some of these lower health Roaches. Snute with a bit of a counter-attack, killed off 4 workers, but not too much. Looks as though it's just going to be too much here anyways. A couple of Ravagers are starting to start finishing, and he's going to be able to just get a little bit of extra damage with these. And as we see Serral continue to push on through. 10 army supply ahead. And again, okay, Snoot's got that shorter reinforcements distance, but now as the Lings come in, he's going to be able to help protect his own Roaches. He's going to get surrounded on Roaches, and this is going to be the end. Snute just cannot hold on against this. Too much here from Serral. GG in game 2 goes Serral's way. It's a 2-0. Our blue Zerg top left is Team Liquid Snute, and to the bottom right our red Zerg is ENCE Esports Serral. Again, sorry for the coughing, the horrible bits and pieces. We don't have many games left after this today. We don't have many games left, but well, I mean, it's been pretty. I feel like I'm getting worse as I go on. I'm just dying more and more. ZvZ starts up fairly standard. Pretty similar builds from what I can tell. I think it was hatch gas bullet piece, just with slightly different gas timings. And so I'm going to throw down the Baneling Nest already. Snute just being a little bit slower on continuing to mine his gas. If you guys are enjoying the tournament and the series and the matches and the casting, guys, even though if I am dying 24/7, you can support the channel. You can follow to see when I'm live in the future, of course. You can subscribe as well. $5 a month, but this month it's actually just $2.50 if you're not already a sub. It's September, which just got extended through to October 18th. So make the most of it while you can. $2.50 to subscribe and support the channel. Moving forward towards 300 subscribers, we're 24 away. Obviously, if you've got Twitch Prime, you've got that free sub available. We'd be happy to take it off your hands. Just click that sub button. It might say subscribe for free. All of it helps the channel out. And you can also donate and cheer in the chat as well if you'd like to continue supporting too. And with that said, we're going to be continuing on with the ZvZ. Obviously, not much happening just yet, but now Serral is going to be the one cutting drones and making a little bit of a few Lings. Getting ready to go play some Ling Bane here on Ascension to Aya. Not too aggressive though, he's already making extra drones to catch back up and maybe even overtake Snute shortly. And he's just going to be the initial aggressor, so we'll see how Snute deals with this. Shouldn't be too bad. Snute already morphed in a couple of defensive Banes at home, 2 more on the way just to make sure. Obviously comes down to micro still, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, Serral's going to surround the drones! Oh, no way! He only loses 1 Zerg in there. How does that even happen? A bit of a gamble from Serral, but it pays off for him. Wow, that was so close. Somehow the second Baneling just doesn't hit anything after the first only just goes down in time. Wow, split second moments there. It's the sort of thing that can just put Snute into a sort of lead which starts to snowball, you know? So really nice from Serral to actually get that. I mean, wow. Just nothing going Snute's way right now. Serral setting up into an Evo chamber. Maybe potential +1 missiles already, just setting up for the next stage of this. Single Ling goes onto onto the Baneling. And he does get the kill as well. Serral just trading well. Down in army supply because he's been droning up and starting Evo chambers, +1s and all sorts. A Roach Roaring too. Let's see if he can defend this right now. He does not have Banelings, I don't think, in position. He must have some, right? Otherwise he'd be already morphing some more in. There we go, a few Banes are going to start moving in. Let's see what the micro is going to be like on this. He cancels 1 Bane and 2 and 3. His own Bane's coming in and actually trading pretty well as well. So honestly, everything going right for Serral still. Continuing to defend with a worker lead with a Roach transition on the way up. Snute going into the lair already. Could go into the lair already. Could go in towards a Spire quite quickly. Probably is the way he's going to go about this. A lair coming up with no sign of the Roach Roar on it. Serral upgrades. Spire would make a lot of sense. As soon as it's starting to make some progress here, gets rid of that Spine Crawler. Banes are still being cancelled left, right, and center. It's been pretty crazy. Does Serral want to go for those Banes? He can't. 2 Banes of Snute already on the way through. Oh my god, that was crazy as well. A really scary moment or so. Banes left, Banes right, Banes all over the shop right now. Excuse me. We're just going to be seeing again a couple more Banes getting taken down. Seven drones killed. Worker counts become even. Problem is, Serral now can just spam roaches and go across the map, I feel. He's still without a lair, so it's going to be a very committed attack. If he doesn't do some major damage, Snute will fall into trouble, but... sorry, Serral will fall into trouble, but I think he is going to do major damage. The question is, how fast does Snute's mutas come up? Well, they're not going to be here for a minute or two, so obviously that's going to be a bit of an issue. And, I mean, this could be a big, big problem. I mean, Serral's actually making a few more. He's actually going to make a lay. He's not going to commit to the attack across. I feel as though he does have a timing here, Serral, to move forwards with, but he's just not going to find it yet. Obviously, that is again problematic for him. This is going to be moving down to bottom right hand side. We're going to see this queen get nibbled away at once again. Queen will fall. Going to see the drones getting pulled through, and they'll be able to kick off a few more Zerglings as well. A couple more lingers in towards the natural expansion. The Baneling going off to help defend there. Pretty decent. Not bad at all. So we've seen this queen poking away at that Overlord as well, so Overlord is going to go down. Game is evening up, 56 to 60 workers, 36 to 28 army, +1 missile still in Serral's favor. Making extra queens now. I think he's realized that the muters are on the way, so he's beginning to prepare against it. Queens, spores, and an infestation pit is going to be his choice of tech here. Again, those muters coming across the map. I'm going to see what they can get up to. Again, this is where the queens and the spores are going to become a big part of this, but so far, first spore crawler is going to be taken down. Yes, gets taken down. No cancel there. Queens target 5 on the lower health muters, and will try and go for a second. Doesn't get it though. Now another spore growing down. Serral is in trouble on his third base, but he does launch a roach. Well, a bit of a roach counterattack. There isn't that many roaches. Some Banes killing some Zerglings. Snute's playing straight up mutiling, by the way, rather than kind of muters into roaches. So that's worth mentioning. Worth keeping in mind that it's not going to be kind of a very good fighting force, very much so for Snute. He is going to roaches and roach speed now, but still no +1 missiles. And something which still is beneficial, very much so, for Serral at the moment. He's working his way through a couple of queens. And the queen here going to get very low. And good damage being done in general right now. Some more lings running on in, another roach coming forwards. In general, this has actually been a very good defense now from Serral. He's picking up a lot of these queens. I mean, more meters coming forwards. Yeah, it's kind of tough, because if Snute does get rid of all the queens, then it's only spores, right? And then, I guess Serral's got roach. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of spores over here. Is there spores in the main? Just one? Feels like these meters have openings to abuse, honestly. Meters moving through again. Just looking to see what else is happening. A few more roaches just moving around. Snute gathering his own roaches together. Still no +1 upgrade for him though. Obviously a major disadvantage, but he does have a large army supply lead. We'll see. I mean, I guess some of that army supply comes in on muters, right? 22 to 21 roaches. So Serral does win a straight up roach fight. Depends what the muters can add in, of course, to try and tilt things into certain players' favors at this point of the day. So Roach is just gathering up. And Roach is a Snute kind of moving around a little bit as well, seeing where he can go. 10 Ravagers currently morphing in the middle of the map. Now that's something Serral doesn't have. He is building infestors. Problem is for those infestors, they're not going to have anything too useful right away here to really utilize or anything. So, Roach and Ravagers going to pick a Roach off right there. We've seen these Queens, Roaches, Ravagers, infestors too. Going to be coming out. So there's actually a few infestors with fungals already. That's nice. Obviously, fungal the mutants and you get corrosive bowels on them is a good way to kill them off. Again, Serral's hanging in here. He's still got +2 missiles on the way, with +1 already finished. So again, in terms of straight up fight, Serral has that in his advantage. Like that couple of bars just sneaking away, killing off a couple of roaches. Now Serral going to be forced to defend though. He does have these spores here, which obviously helps him and stops the mutants from coming and joining this fight. So going to push forwards, obviously find himself an opportunity. Hasn't found himself any further fungal growth just yet. Those corrosive bars a little bit more painful, but nice last moment split away. Nice fungal growth there. There's some bars, and that should be on the muters. He only gets 1 or 2 of them actually. Muters going to keep chasing those infestors. Burrow is available. Burrow. Serral not burrowing at all, but he does hold on, and his army supply drops. And remember that the upgrade advantage is Serral, so on even army supplies, this is very much so Serral's game to lose. Again, these mutants still flying around here. Roach is coming through the center of the map. A few Ravagers on the way up as well. Mutants just jumping on top of the Overseer, and again, the Roaches, the Ravagers looking to see where they can go. A few Infestors coming up the right-hand side. He's going to push forwards too, and are going to be able to push that Mutalisk away. Again, a few more Overlords just on the way up over here. Muscular Augments on the way up on the Hydralisk Den. Another Ravager just popping. And again, a few more Hydras on the way out. This means the Snute going to jump on top of this Overseer. Which getting picked off as well, and again, just going to be seeing some bits and pieces going down, some units moving around as well. These Roach going to push up this ramp and go in towards the, go in towards these kind of queens here, to see what's going to be happening. You'll see actually Snute coming in from the top side, going to start working his way through this hatchery. Fungal growth on a lot of these units. Can Snute take the fight he needs, though? Remember that Snute is so far behind in upgrades that in general, these fights are very favored towards Serral. Okay, Serral loses a 4th base. But if he has enough units to just counterattack with here, well, that might not matter. He's got Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras, Infestors. His army is actually just so good for fighting. I mean, look at this. He's got 20 Roaches, 23 Roaches and 12 Ravagers against 20 and 4. He's got Infestors to back him up, and 9 Hydras too. All of this is just things that Snute doesn't have. And he has +2 missile attack against 0-0. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Just going to be seeing these Roaches coming in once again, trying to do a little bit more. So just still playing defensively here. Snoot still being the aggressor, but I think Serral just knows that if he just stays defensive, he's the one who's in the advantage. Still no 4th base, and that's something which might become an issue here over time. It might just force Serral to take a fight, but again, I don't think Serral being forced to take a fight is necessarily a bad thing for him, because I think he's got everything to play for. A nice fungal growth again, pinned on top of some more of these units. I'm just going to be seeing a lot of drones going down from Serral, but remember now, he is going to be able to spend that money and just spend it right away there. Needs another hatch though. Still is lacking minerals and is slowly starting to fall behind in that income. Snoot's income quite heavily ahead. I still think Serral should just attack again. So these units moving around. Mila's going to be poking away at this Overseer. Roach's Rise is going to push on forwards. And again, a few Roaches just going to get picked away at. And yeah, just going to be seeing defense set up from Serral too. Still Serral in a huge lead, although his leads and advantages are slipping. For example, he's losing the +2 advantage in the near future. So that's little bits and pieces which are going to be continuing to come up here. Let's see how it continues. Green MC with the cheer 50 saying go Serral. Thank you very much, Phoenix Tears, as well for the cheer 8. Thank you guys for cheering. Do appreciate the support. The drones going down. Roaches and Ravagers from Snute coming up to the top right hand side of the map. Try and get a little bit more done. Hatchery finishes in the upper right corner. And we've seen these Roaches and Ravagers trying to do a little bit more once again. Nice fungal growths. They're grabbing a whole bunch of those units, and oh wow, that's again just a nice engagement from Serral to take the upper hand, pushing forwards. He still does for now have the upgrade lead, remember. We're going to be seeing him. We're not going to push up there, but maybe now he feels as though he has the chance to push on across. Continue setting up, seeing where he can go, seeing what else he can get up to. Roaches and Ravagers setting on up. We're going to see that fungal coming down again. Just pushing forwards. Serral's going to have way too much here, and this will be a 3-0 for him as he pushes on through to victory. GG, Serral takes that 3-0. In the meantime, Harstom is still 2-2 tied up with 11.